2097, good luck. Let's play knight f3 as per usual. We can play d4 or we can do our normal reti. Let's do our normal reti for this one. I'm trying to mix it up a bit now. Opponent's 730 games of rapid. You normally play b3 and g3 here against c6 and g3 against e6. That's the normal basic setup you go for, but there's nothing wrong with just switching to a d4 game at any moment. Very common as well. Okay, let's get our bishop developed and castle. Now we need to start slowing down a bit and coming up with a plan. So I think d4 is still the right move if I remember. Yeah, I'm going to play d4, challenge for the centre. I just need the audio up slightly to hear the moves a bit better. Okay, I think knight up is okay. I'll meet it with knight up. Knight across, take, and that would mix it up a little bit. I'm going to play knight up before black can play forward. I expect he'll meet it with knight up. Well, he's gone the other side, so... Okay, let's develop this knight then. So we're preparing to jump to f3 if needed. Now, there'll come a point where it's best to take here, but is it now? I think I'm going to take and aim for e3. I'm trying to have a nice solid centre and see which way he wants to take back. He's gone with that pawn, so do I need rook across? Problem is, if he pushes now, it could undermine my knight. Rook across or queen up, does it matter? Queen up might be a better development move. The knight's still guarded by the bishop. I've still got e3 to come, so down I could take. So I'm actually going to go with the queen. So we've just got to get our rooks onto some decent central squares at some point, or maybe chuck the pawns down the board and push on the queen side. But I'm aiming to play e3 to solidify the centre. If he pushes now, we can take because the bishop guards the knight, but obviously that might change rapidly, and indeed he's gone back to kick that knight out. So I do have knight to f3. That was why I brought this knight here. Then all the knights could trade off, and then we've got e3. Yeah, I think I like knight across. See what he does. I mean, I could even take with a pawn and push on. Knight takes, knight takes. I don't think he'll give up his bishop. That would be too risky. I think he'll play this knight across at some point. He's gone with the queen for the time being. Okay, there's no sort of attack, is there? I've got bishop up, could be a nice nuisance move to deal with knight across. But if my knight moves now, this pawn's a target. So I've got rook across, bishop up. Now if I don't play bishop up, say I play rook across and he plays knight here, am I happy to trade? Take, e3 or e4. Bishop up, what's he going to do? Knight here and here, I guess he's fine, but it feels like a nice nuisance move, doesn't it? Maybe he just kicks the knight though. Yeah, maybe he simply kicks the knight. I don't think a sacrifice is on. Take, queen takes. I don't think it's on, so actually I'm going to throw e3 in. Burning a lot of time here. I expect knight up to charge the knight and we'll probably just trade. So let's take there and then play rook across. And now I'm going to try and push forward, I think. So let's aim for b4, and at least if he marches forward, we might trade a few bits and give him an isolated pawn. We might take this way and trade these bishops off, get rid of the defending bishop. So let's just see what black wants to do. I've played bishop across to attack our rook. So he might be looking to come here. So I think rook on a dark square makes sense here. Then we've got bishop back, or we can keep pressing this pawn. If he comes in, he'll attack this pawn, so we can go up 1 or 2. I don't think a bishop move would do a lot. Oh, he's clamping this down. Do I need to come back here then and charge that bishop? Maybe we do. Yeah, I think we do. I think we need to challenge that bishop. I could go with the rook, I could go with the king. If I go with the king though, this moves, it allows this sort of idea with a check. So probably just drop the rook back. Or he could indeed drop back, he doesn't. So I'll take with the rook. Then we might come across to d1 instead of e1. So he's gone here. I don't know if he's targeting a push or not. Here doesn't quite work for us right now, does it? So I want to push a pawn and see what he's doing here. Is he going to march everything down the board? What's his idea? I'm not quite sure what he's aiming for with this, but there must be a reason. You make a move for a reason. Obviously, I'm just trying to push on this side, but right now he's really well guarded, so there's no actual threat there. There's no threat. We're just prodding and poking right now and see if we can open anything up. Queen maybe in and double the rooks up could be a plan, and we guard this pawn a little better. Here, I think we take, yeah, so he's retreated to target this pawn. So do we push now? He might have wanted to encourage this, but here, say we trade and he takes either way, we're still going to get a target, aren't we? Here, takes. Here, takes. My queen's in the firing line. That's no good to me. Yeah, we need to move the queen. Let's get the queen up. Guard the pawn for now and maybe try and double the rooks and target this pawn. It might come to nothing, but it's a target at least, isn't it? And then, do we push this or this? So we've got to try and figure out without burning the entire clock. And of course, we've got to watch out. This pawn push allows the queen, I was going to say, move the queen forward to target our pawn. So we could, go here, guard with a bishop, but then are we able to push? Not without the rook coming in as well. Bishop here you don't want to do, so I've got bishop here or I can push the pawn. They're the two moves. So if I push the pawn, if he takes, we can simply take back. That looks fine. So up, what if he pushes? If we take, I would assume he would go with the pawn. He could go with the rook, but if he went with the rook, we've got bishop here. If he goes with a pawn, he's got 2 here to our 1, but it opens up the scope for the bishop, doesn't it? So I'm going to gamble and push the pawn. If he plays queen down, I'll probably drop back and guard the pawn. But he's got to be careful about takes here. I think he'll take or he'll push, but let's just see. There's no point overthinking your opponent's moves sometimes. Just try and see what they actually play. Then the odd move, obviously give yourself a lot of time to think, but most of the time you've got about maybe 10 seconds in a rapid game, maybe 15 seconds on average. Yeah, he does indeed take. So that was the move I expected. So I think I need to take back. If queen in right now, this would be a problem. So I think we're okay to take back and now target this pawn and this pawn. So they're our 2 targets. But if this falls, obviously could be a disaster. I'll pre-move in case he takes the rook. I don't think he will, but it's a safe pre-move. But we could go now from trying to create some chances to suddenly being a little bit defensive. So it could be a little bit of a problem. Let's see. Although I'm just looking at rook across here with the tempo attacking there, and I've got bishop up and I can get rid of the defending bishop. For my bishop that's just stuck doing nothing. So that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I guess he could double up here, but it gives us bishop up and we'll trade here. Then we'll try and get our other rook into play. So I'm not really going to go here, am I? I've got queen up as a move or rook across. They're my candidate moves. And queen here might allow rook here. Takes. That feels a bit bold though. So I'm favouring rook across. So I'm going to play rook over and target the pawn, but with a view to bishop up and trade. My bishop that's stuck behind the pawn's not really doing anything and not really defending anything either. For his bishop, which is protecting his king. So that's my likely next move. It depends if we can target here. Yeah, he's played rook up as I expected. So I like bishop up here now and see where he's going to defend. And then we'll try and target this pawn. So we'll probably just take the bishop next move and see how he takes back. So he's gone with the queen. So let's take that. Now, what do I do? If I play a rook here with a view to doubling up, can he target this easily? I don't think so because this square is covered. But equally, am I better off just going up so I can try and maybe double or triple here? That feels better to me. I don't see the benefit of going here, so I'm going to just play rook up 1. Then I've got the option to defend as well as trying to attack. So he has gone to defend there. But let's put the pressure on by doubling the rooks up. So 2 attack it, but 3 defend it. Queen's free to wander off, and indeed does. So is it worth launching a pawn then? Or rook across here? That's the only thing in it. If I had the rooks up and the queen on this file, it would be 3 attacking, but you need the queen behind the rooks. So I think I better bring the rook across. Not sure about this, not sure. My b-pawn could get very weak now. But because he's stacked horizontally, we might be able to double the rooks up on the file before our opponent can. And charge for the open file. But we're a minute down on the clock. So that's a slight problem as well. So already a lot more than half our time has gone. But if he trades, we're trying to challenge for this open file, get the rook across, and then try not to lose this pawn. But of course, I guess he's got queen back to challenge our pawn. Queen up takes. He can challenge it, we can guard it, but it's going to be lost in it. So I don't think we can do that. Yes, I expect a move like queen back to threaten the pawn and still guard this one. And if we come straight across, he can just take. So that's no good. And if I play queen here, trade, he's going to get the rook behind it. So he didn't actually go for that. Okay. So does that allow us to come in now then? Just rook across here and really challenge for the file. I'm not too worried about this, but maybe I should be. If he pushes here, take, he can then push here. If he goes here and here, that's a big problem actually, isn't it? Yeah, so let's push. He's going for a counterpunch. He might even push here now. He might do. And my queen can't get in easily here. I've got a square here. But trade, I think, favours our opponent. So I think that would be a problem. Yeah, so he's played queen across. But that gives us queen here now, right? That lets our queen round the back. And maybe we can target this pawn. So if I go forward... Is he going to come in and target our pawn? Do we mind? Possibly. But I'm going to try something. I'm so far down. Here, queen here. Then what have I got? Queen to the corner. If he takes, we can take here. He'll get a check, we'll step up. And he can check all day long and run his pawn. It's not looking so promising. So here... Queen here. Maybe I've got queen here. I'm going to risk it and get into my opponent's half. If queen in, I think I'm going here to guard the pawn and threaten a check, and then try and get my rook in, something like that. But if this falls, and even if one of them does fall, he's got an outside pass pawn then, and he can check me here. He's played his rook across, which I did not particularly expect. So I think I need queen here, right? Queen here, I'm not sure what he'll do. Let's see. Queen here, I'll have to run back here and maybe threaten the pawn. If he comes here now, I've got a check. That would just win the game. So he can't go here now because that would hit the rook. Queen here, and I think I go maybe one of these two, pressure the two pawns. So he's just run away. And that might be a really solid move. How the heck do I challenge that? Oops. I might have just gone wrong here, mightn't I? I can't go here actually because I realise I've blundered the queen with check. So I'm going to go here and attack the pawn. But I think my queen is actually offside here. I need to get the queen back and I don't see how. Made a little bit of a mistake, haven't I? Because I can't get my rook forward. Ooh, what do we do now? I'm going to play queen across. I'm going to try and get the queen back over because I think I've made a mistake getting forward without my rook. He's so solid here, there's not much I can do. And the clock is too big a problem. And even if I get here, there's no threat to the king unless I risk everything. Which I might have to do. Across, push and push. Don't see nothing else. So you can just grab a pawn now and it's probably game over. Probably. I don't see how I get my rook in. Yeah, I've just hung the pawn, haven't I? Queen here, and there's no actual threat whatsoever. He's just solid and the pawn's gone. So yeah, this game's gone. If I push here, takes. That's solid. No threat to his king. So I'm going to have to retreat my queen and play quickly now. So I've got to quicken up the last bit now. I don't know why he's not taking there. There's no actual threat. Is there, say queen here, we hit the rook. But the pawn's guarded. He can move his rook somewhere. He can drop his queen back. It's just free pawn. So I think queen back is called for and then try and regroup somehow. I've gone on in manoeuvres and they've backfired really badly. Or I've got queen here again. And he can just simply drop back and say you've just wasted a few moves and given us a free pawn. I guess king up, get off the back rank, but apologies, I just banged the cup into the microphone, but I don't know why he's not taking that pawn. Okay, he's got a good connection, so he has done it now. Let's just quickly get the king up. I've got to keep him tied down somehow. I don't actually see how. But if I can't pick the rook up and put it on this file somewhere, then I'm in a lot of trouble. So now can we go here and target the rook and say, what, you're going to come here, but then we target here. How does he guard everything now? If we hit the rook and hit the pawn, we're threatening this. He's got a check and I can sidestep here. So I have to sidestep there, right? So if he gets the rook down, it's a mate in one threat. So now he's gone back. So I've still got nothing. I'm going to play rook forward just to try and get in if he pushes his pawn. I don't see nothing else. Oh, hold on. I've just allowed this nonsense, haven't I? What the heck have I done? Oops. Let's get my queen back and retreat the rook. Just that he could have come in here hitting my pawn. He can come in here and I'll have to sidestep. A trade just loses now, I think. Because he can take this way. So he's offered the trade. I'll have to step up. And I've got to somehow lift this rook to the back rank. But it's impossible, isn't it? It looks impossible. I might have to push everything up. So rook onto the second rank. Push and pray. He attacks my rook. So I can't go the second rank. So we'll have to do the back rank. And then look to get in. But he's so solid. I might have to go here and here. And ooh. That's terrible, isn't it? That's really passive. So let's go back here. He can check and we'll come back again. Now, do I gamble and hit the queen and prepare this? He can check and I can step here. Up, takes. It's my chance, isn't it? Check here. What does he do? Say he attacks us and we just go ultra defensive. We're going to push. If he keeps an eye on this, I might be in trouble, but I'm going to risk it. I'm trying to push. I'm trying to keep him tied down so he can't march everything forward in a hurry, even though he probably can. So let's push. If you're lost, you might as well take some form of risk, mightn't you? If you're just hopelessly lost, you might as well gamble something or other. Like if I take with a queen, yeah, he's brought the queen in. That's nasty. That is nasty, isn't it? So I'll have to take. Queen takes. He's got to check. Yeah, we have to block. We have to trade. It's doomed. It is doomed unless he makes a complete Horlicks of the end game. You never know. But I think you do know. He doesn't want to overcomplicate this, so he could overcomplicate it. He doesn't really want to do that. But this, yeah, he's gone forward. So let's go here. But you can always push this. There's nothing I can do. You can just keep pushing it. Yeah, nothing we can do. We go here now, though. Can we win this pawn? If we get this pawn, we're still in the game. If we can just win this pawn, if he's gone one square too far, because here I get behind, he can't guard it. Or if I collect this pawn, I can barricade the other one. So are we still in it then? Can't risk messing about there. We're somehow still in the game. Blimey. Can we win this one? That's unbelievable if we end up with a pawn out of being hopeless. So is this a win? Trade. That would be a win. So he can't trade. We'll try and shepherd his king. Does it matter? Let's go here. Yeah, I should have cut his king off earlier, shouldn't I? What was I doing? I've got to try and get back here. Oh, he's let me in. Now, can I shift my rook? Let's come behind, try and check. I needed to cut his king off. Oh, I need to cut him off on these files. That's the technique. Wow, we've managed to outplay him in the endgame. Oh, got a lot of luck in the endgame, but we've somehow won it. Yeah, the technique is to keep the king cut off if you can and then try and march. But he might be close enough here that it's just a theoretical draw. Because of where the pawn and the king are. Well, let's see what it was in engine language. But a lot of luck to win that one. He really outplayed us most of the game, to be fair. So we made that mistake. The queen went on the adventures, so it was difficult. 76 moves. So there were the move times. Let's see what it was. But yeah, when my queen went on the adventures and I lost that pawn, it felt like I was doomed there. But let's just see. We've been better here, blundered it back to level. Oh, we've been better and blundered it back to level twice. But yeah, we are much worse here. So let's see where this was. Move 58. But we then ended up better and blundered it level twice. That'll be in them rook maneuvers at the end, getting low in time. It's actually quite a balanced game, isn't it? So we've been better here. And then we've been worse. Okay, let's see what it was. 86 and 83, but lots of good play from both of us, but then plenty of mistakes. The opening not really flagging anything. So just, you'll see this in lots of my games, in the Reti type openings. So let's just see here. Yeah, Queen C2, the first mistake, and I should have developed the rook instead. And leave the queen there for now. Okay, but then nothing much being flagged in all of these opening moves, just some maneuvers going on. So this was all good, all good. He should have played A6 there. So B5 good, takes good, rook A1 good. But I shouldn't have played bishop A3. I should have brought the other rook across to the open file immediately. Okay, but the blunders are still to come. So these are all good from both of us. He should play G5 instead of H5. H4 was good. And then Queen C8, yeah. I mistake here. Went on my maneuvers and suddenly this pawn looks rather weak, doesn't it? So, but it's still level here actually. So in this position it wasn't bad. It's actually still level. I've played this okay. So when I've gone Queen F4 here, that's a blunder. I should have gone into the corner. And maybe that just keeps him tied down. If you wander off, we're crashing through. So sit and hold. And then just shuffle. It might be the best that I can do there. Queen in the corner, sit and shuffle, and he's not got any easy way to break through without risking it. Yeah, Queen A8, Queen C7. Okay, so that was suddenly 2.7 for black. Then I'm just trying to maneuver around. We're down to 2 minutes, a minute and a half now, but I've managed to get slightly up on the clock. Protected the pawn, he kicked us back, and then I've gambled and I've pushed the pawn forward. It's not flagged it as a mistake, but it's still better for our opponent here. Now here, he should have dropped his queen all the way back instead of the rook across. G4, inaccuracy. Takes good. Queen E2 is a blunder. And then you can see we've got some blunders coming up in the end game here when we're getting low on time. But I'm trying to play quickly to keep my opponent under time pressure. But this is actually 0.0 level with correct play. So we played this bit good. A3 was indeed a blunder, so now he can't protect his pawn. So we've managed to get the pawn. It was good to take, give up the other pawn. So King E5 is good. He should have checked and kept this pawn on. I guess we'd go here and then you'd try and maneuver and we'd go after this one, I guess. But he should have done that. So king takes was good, and then I've blundered here with rook to b2. I should have put the king forward, but it's actually a blunder, 0.2, so level. Whereas king here, and I'm still better. So if you check, I guess I'll drop back, I'm not sure. Then bring the rook across, it makes a difference. Then he should have brought his king a bit closer by. So these next few moves coming up are good, and then we blunder again. Then our opponent blunders. But you see, we're down to 30 and 10 seconds now. So yeah, I should have played rook up to give a check here. And then if the king goes here, oh, I guess you check, then you have to protect your rook. Well, that's nice. So that kicks him back in effect. If he goes here, we check. It doesn't matter if you take the pawn or you step back. We're going to take the rook. If you take back, we promote our pawn. So yeah, rook check, and the king is deflected. And then I can bring the king to where the rook is. king f7. Oh, then rook out to a6 is the right move. So he's that's a blunder back to level. That's an immediate blunder back. And then this time we've managed to play it well enough there. And it's actually plus 4.6. So with correct play, then it should be a win. You'll find a way to get the pawn there in the end. But one of them games, isn't it? But it turned out well in the end. Very good.